Good day, everybody. It's AJ outside again. I wanted to quickly go over planting your little vegetable plant sets that you buy in the box stores. I prefer always, if possible, plant by seed, direct sowing into the ground. Because you get so much better quality plant and it grows a lot faster, fruits a lot faster. It's just nothing like planting by seed, but sometimes it's more convenient to buy the little plants. Like, for example, these right here are some black broccoli plants I want to set out. Okay, it's the 1st of October, so it's too late to put seeds in the ground or grow anything by seed. So it's just sometimes more convenient to buy the little vegetable sets. Also, a lot of seeds like your winter greens or uh, kale or tomatoes, they're so small, and it can be a challenge to grow small seeds or get them to germinate. So, and then you don't need that many of them. You might only want to set out 8 or 10 plants or 12 plants, and you don't really need to buy a gazillion seeds to plant just a few plants. So it's just sometimes more convenient to buy the little plants. I guess what I'm trying to say. Um, so I want to go over, a good way to plant your vegetable plants, but I also want to go over a better way to plant them. I have a technique in which they'll get established a little quicker and they'll grow in a way to where, similar if you planted them by seed in the ground. So let's get started. First thing you want to do is take your vegetable plant safely out of the tray that they're growing in. Some of them have been growing in the tray for quite a while, and sometimes you'll see the roots popping out of the back. These right here look pretty good. But you never want to pull them out by the stem because you can damage the plant. You can separate it from the main structure of the root, which, sometimes they don't recover from that. But what I do is I just kind of shake it a little bit and kind of get that soil away from the side of the plastic container. And then what I do, just to make sure there's no roots connected to the little outlets for water, I just kind of push up on it. You can use like a little any kind of sharp object. I usually find a little stick to do it with, and then it should release. Just kind of turn it over, and it should release right out of the tray. All right. So we went over that part of it. Now we're gonna go over planting it. Okay. First, we're gonna go over a good method of planting it. Make sure I always mix a little compost in my soil. Um, but a good way of planting it is to just rough up the roots a little bit, and then as the instructions usually tell you, just plant it the same depth that it was in the container. Just pack it down real good. Like I said, make sure your soil comes right up to about the level it was in the container, and then just form a little swell around it. So when you get ready to water it, your water will go right down there to the root system. And it's important to keep your new seedlings watered very well until they get established and the soil stays moist. And you can tell when they get established because they'll start growing new leaves out. And at the point they start putting new leaves out, I always wait for them to get a little size to them, a little girth to the stem. But at the point that they start doing that, you can start putting a little fertilizer on them if you want to, because that means that root system has reached out into the soil. All right, so that's perfect. Okay, now let's go over a better way to plant. So now we're going to go over the better way to plant your vegetable plants. Okay, also I want to point out that you can use a little tag that comes with your vegetable plants, to kind of loosen that root system out the bottom. Just kind of poke on it a little bit. Make sure it shake right out of there. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna rough up the root system again. Gonna kind of take our time, just kind of pat it on the sides. And this works better if the root system is not too saturated with water. You kind of want to let them dry out a little bit. And what we're gonna do again, just shake that. We're shaking off the peat moss because that's basically what they're growing in, the peat moss mixture. And we don't really need all these feeder roots. It's gonna grow new feeder roots. Matter of fact, that's what we wanted to do. We want to encourage it. So we can just kind of crumble that up in our hole. and have your little pail of water right beside you, and then just kind of dip it in that water and let it sit for a little while. May want to swish it around if you want to. What we're doing, we're just trying to get all that medium away from the root system, and so we can expose the bare roots, as much of the bare roots as possible. So as you can see, you know, we got some of the major feeder roots right at the base of the root system still intact. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna mix in our little peat moss that we got out of we shook away from our plant. We're gonna do it right at the base of the stem. Cover it back up and have that soil like a little bit above the base of the stem, kind of how it was growing in the container. Pack it down just like we did the other plant, and then form a little swell around it. Now what this does right here, it forces the plant to want to put out new feeder roots, and it'll get established a lot faster than it will that other one that we didn't do that on. And it gives it a little more of the effect, if we grew it by seed in the ground, because it's gonna, like I say, start forming its own new fresh roots into our bare ground. So, and what I will see is this plant right here will get established a lot faster, start growing new roots a lot faster, and as it expands out those brand new roots into the soil, it's just gonna do a little bit better than that other plant that we didn't do that on, because it's gonna be root bound for a little while. So next time you plant your plants, try this technique. Do both ways and see which ones turn out the best. So um, I hope this video helped you. If it did, please give it a thumbs up. Like I always state, I appreciate you for watching, and please subscribe for more videos.